Happy Sunday Fun Day. Happy Sunday Fun Day. You're with Adam Chandler, your favorite trash bag, and you're with Trash Talk. It's amazing what you can do with boxes when you've moved. So for the past month, when Frank and I moved in here, we literally have had like nothing but boxes just taking up space. And I was like, I need to make signs for my show. And luckily we did. Well, let's get this off started right. If you didn't know, I am trash and I drink Fireball. But I just cut my hair, so I'm a little bit eleganza trash. Oh dear God. So it begins. And if you're not drinking at home, Jerry, what are you?
Trash.
Trash.
Oh,
Garbage.
trash.
All right, cheers. This is our amazing manager, Jerry. And his
Cheers.
partner, Victor. Oh, what a way to start a day. So for those of you playing at home, I was just telling our amazing friend Jerry here that he said, oh, do you have any guests coming on the show tonight? And I said, no, because I woke up at 2:30. Frank and I have been on an Unsolved Mysteries kick, and we fell asleep on the couch. But we woke up like at 2:30 in the morning, and I woke up. Hi, Sally-Ann, I know you can't talk, but I love you. I hope you're feeling better. So we woke up on the couch, and I woke up like I had slept for 10 hours. And then did like 2 more shots, and he's like, please come to bed. And he had to come and found me in the kitchen going through cookbooks. Because I was like, ooh, what can I make with this, what I have in my fridge right now? But it is, to be official, it was a trashy story because it's the Hoosier Cookbook. It was printed in 1972. My mother, it's my favorite cookbook. And it's from all these like housewives in Indiana. And you submit your recipes, and they actually have things in there that like don't exist anymore from like the 20s. So like how to get rid of like sunspots. They're like, use mercury. And I was just like, this is fun. And like things that you can't find anymore. They're like elixir of violet. And you're like, who the fuck has elixir of violet? So I woke up, and then Frank found me going through the cookbook and actually was like, please come to bed. And then I got in bed and I just lay there, and I was just wired. And then I slept until 2:30. And I told him, I said, we had a Cards Against Humanity game night last night with some friends, and we were playing, and we had Cosmos because we're gay. That's right. Why not? I even had a garnish of like lime wheel. And so we had 3 of those apiece. And then we had some shots throughout the evening. And I was telling this morning, I said, I don't feel like I overdid it. I didn't underdo it. I just did it. So today was a little bit of a fog. Also, got a hair in my mouth. Ugh. What kind of pie was this? Hair pie? Gross. Anyway, yes, it's Pride Month officially. Thank the Lord. So we are super, super, super gay. I think we have many, many things to be prideful for. I'm going to tell one of Adam Chandler's, much to my boyfriend's chagrin. He hates hearing these stories. I'm like, everybody has a past and a future. He hates hearing these stories. So I'm just going to set this right here. So there we are. Don't block me. Don't upstage me. Anyway, years ago, like in between freshman and sophomore year of college, I got my first professional acting gig. It was there's Nashville, Tennessee, and there's Nashville, Indiana. It's in Brown County, if you ever happen to be there. It's about an hour from Bloomington, which is where Indiana University is. It was called the Nashville Follies Musical Theater. And it was the show, they did multiple shows throughout the year, but in the summertime, that's when they got really popular because they treat Nashville like a mini Nashville from Tennessee. So they have like car shows, there's antique stores. It actually was formed as an artist colony, and it's in like a mountainous area, the hilly area of. It reminds people of the Smoky Mountains, which is why it's called Little Nashville. It reminds people of the Smoky Mountains. Yes, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, it started as an artist colony, and then all the Hicks came in because it's Southern Indiana. And you don't have to be from Southern Indiana to be a Hick. You can be from anywhere, even here in New York City. And my friend invited me because we performed Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I got paid a whole $75 a show, and I thought I was living the life. I had a Pontiac Grand Prix No, it was Oldsmobile Supreme something. But it was the exact car that I wanted, made by the same company, but with a different name on it. It was like, it wasn't a Pontiac, but it was an Oldsmobile. And it had the fancy door, like you couldn't lift it this way. It had it on the side, and it had the belt that came up when you got in, and they went. I loved that car. So, and it was an hour and a half from where I lived. So I would go down and like stay the entire weekend performing. Sometimes I would drive back. I had not really begun drinking yet because I was not in a fraternity. But that's the summer I discovered baby oil, slip and slides, and Malibu and Dr. Pepper together was my favorite thing. Gross. Gross.
At least you've evolved to Fireball.
Talk about.
Huge upgrade.
I hadn't come out yet. Everybody knew I was gay except for me, which is a fun story. So we're sitting there. My friend's like, "Hey, have you heard of the other gay guy in the cast?" Says, "Hey, have you heard of Camp Buckwood?" And I go, "Camp what?" He goes, "Camp Buckwood. It's a gay campground." And he and I had like fooled around and we're like, we had to keep it hush hush. No one knows that we're gay. And so we got a day pass, and we didn't realize after 8 p.m. they lock the gate. Like you can't leave. It's like some kind of state law. It's like a campground thing. You can't just be coming and going all hours. So once you're in the campground, we got there at like 10 in the morning. And I was telling Jerry that you can either like actually take a tent, which is what we did, and sleeping bags and set it up in a certain area. But they have it set up that people actually take like, not mobile homes, but like an RV that you put on a tractor trailer or whatever. They take it in, they plant it. Yes, I'm gay, Eric. Are you? And so these people would like set it up. They would make it some fancy ass trailer trash. Like people had like full on decks, fire pits, and then you leave it there for the entire year. They have an outdoor swimming pool. And I was telling our dear friend Jerry that we got there very early, and they have like a little snack shack kind of thing, and you can be naked anywhere, and you can have sex anywhere except in the pool because they don't want to clean it. They're like, it's like you will get kicked out. And I was like, okay, good to know. And I'm very shy, and obviously I don't know anybody. Nobody. I was like, oh, I can be myself. It was like my Woodstock, shall we say? So we go and he goes and does his thing with some other people. And I'm like, oh, it's like still early. I want some coffee. So I go up to the snack shack and get a cup of coffee. And I'm like pouring my cream and sugar. And there's just two guys in a sling going at it. Like it's like literally like 3 feet away from where the sweet and low is. There were these two bears just fucking like bunnies. And it was an eye opener. And I was like, huh. And then I learned that I was on my way they have like a woodsy area, kind of like the Rambles or the Meat Rack on Fire Island, like anything goes. And I was just walking around. It's actually set up like, oh, like it's a trail. And I was walking through, and there was a random picnic table, and I had my coffee and my little, bagel and cream cheese. I'm like, I'll just have a nice little peaceful moment before I have to go back to my home life of straight people. And out of nowhere, I'm about to sit down, and this couple walks by, buck naked, obviously, and says, I wouldn't eat that there. And I said, why? And they said, because a lot of things happened on that table around 2 a.m, and I don't think you want your bagel near it. And I was like, oh, I only got lucky once, but I got very nervous because I was like, what if he knows someone that I know? So, but that was fun. And then we ended up getting locked in. Like we took sleeping bags because we knew we might spend the night, but we were like, I was like, hey, I've had my fun. Do you want to go? He's like, yeah, it's like 8:30. We go to the gate and we're like, and the guy's like, they have a night guard. He's like, where do you think you're going? And we're like, we wanted to get our car because our car was parked on the other side of the gate. He's like, no. I'm like, oh. So I was stuck for about 24 hours they don't open the gate until like 8 a.m. So I'm like, what if you have to like go to the hospital? And that's obviously what I should have said. So I was stuck in a very bearish, fun land of nudity in the middle of southern Indiana. And that's my trash story. And I'm also jealous that I kind of want to have a naked campground right now. Just to myself, just to be naked, just to be out in the woods. I think that deserves a shot.
I was just thinking that.
Sure.
So, Ian, give me a thumbs up if you're feeling a little bit better. She's busy. I can only imagine, if you didn't know, Celianne had surgery this past week, so she can't drink alcohol or speak. So
two of Celianne's favorite things to do.
But for some of us, this is a gift. This is a gift to the duplex itself, because sometimes as employees, we get tired of hearing each other. No, I'm kidding. I love Celianne. She's actually one of the funniest people I know. And I'll tell another trashy story. I love when whenever we get somebody new at the duplex. Oh, cheers.
Cheers.
Whenever we get somebody new as a new hire.
Thank you for my birthday gift, Eric. It's gone now.
Oh no. Whenever we get a new hire at the duplex, everybody like sizes them up, like, because we're all artists and we're all nervous. We're like, are they going to do what I do? No, we all do our own thing because we're all fucking great. And at the time, our may she rest in peace, our dear friend Poppy Kramer, who was a comedian, learned that Celianne was a comedian, and literally said to her, "Oh, you're a comedian?" So for years, every time I just see Celianne, like, and just we'll be in passing, because it's weird how you have coworkers and sometimes you only see them literally for like 5 minutes when the changeover is happening. I just love that every time I'm like, "Oh, are you a comedian?" And if you don't compliment Celianne on how pretty she is, she really will, a baby unicorn dies. So, because she's what? Beautiful. Hey Frank, should we do a song?
Why, yes, we should.
Also, for all my friends protesting, I support you. This is very important still. Keep it up. Keep fighting.
Fuck the curfew.
And fuck the curfew. Yes, send me your dirty pics, please. Because I'm trashy, and it was last year. Normally I'm training for Broadway Bears right now, and a random Instagram follower whose name shall not be named said, "Oh, if I make a $10 donation, can you send me nudes?" I'm like, fuck that. For $500, yes, absolutely. If you make a $500 donation. So we're gonna do a little song. It's a little cabaret-ish style. It's something that you would probably hear me sing at a benefit or something.
Oh, great song from the 80s.
It's a great song from the 80s. And hopefully I'll find the right key.
Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready. This goes out to all of our friends fighting. All of our black friends, we love you. Looking in your eyes, I see a paradise. This world that I found is too good to be true. Standing here beside you, want so much to give you this love in my heart that I'm feeling for you. Let them say we're crazy, don't care about that. Put your hand in my hand, baby, don't ever look back. Let the world around us just fall apart. Maybe we can make it if we're heart to heart. And we can build this thing together, standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now. If this world runs out of lovers, we'll still have each other. Nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us now. I'm so glad I found you. I'm not gonna lose you. Whatever it takes is I'll stay here with you. Take it to the good times, see it through the bad times. Whatever it takes, here's what I'm gonna do. Let them say we're crazy. What do they know? Put your arms around me, baby, don't ever let go. Let the world around us just fall apart. Maybe we can make it if we're heart to heart. And we can build this thing together, standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now. And if this world runs out of lovers, we'll still have each other. Nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us. All that I need is you. All that I ever together, standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now. And if this world runs out of lovers, we'll still have each other. Nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us now. Also, once again, all of the if I get any donations tonight, I will be again spending my money towards Black rights, Black human interests. Last week we raised $100 and I sent it to the Black AIDS Institute. It is Pride, so I felt that it was my duty to send. Normally I say Broadway Cares, Equity Fights AIDS, but I like to reach out to other agencies that are accepting donations to help people. And HIV is a terrible thing, and I know a lot of people need our help right now, especially, and so that's the one I donated to, and that's all I have to say about that. I just think we need to help any Black organization that you can find to help. I believe you should do so. That's my personal opinion, and I love you. And even if you don't make a donation, do something nice. Reach out to your Black neighbors. Say hello. Don't be scared. Protest peacefully, please, because we all need you to come back so we can all sing and laugh together. And vote. Oh my God, vote. Vote this fall. Dear God, vote. If you want to talk about that privately one-on-one, you totally can. I'm not going to make this about politics right now, but I don't think talking about Black Lives Matter is a political thing. It's a human right, and that's all I have to say about that. And I think it's time for another shot, but of something less trashy. Nothing says trash like those shot glasses you bring back from Mexico, because they make you go through a gift shop to get on the plane. I'm like, oh, tourism. All right, Eric, if you're still on, give me a topic, a trashy topic. Oh, and cheers, queers. Oh, happy Pride, by the way. Happy Pride Month. I know we brought it up briefly. Yeah. Oh, do you have more? I thought you were out.
I went and grabbed my. Yeah, I'm just gonna put it in here.
You know, Drizzly is still delivering until 8 p.m. You have time.
I have a giant bottle under the bar in the living room. Just have to refill.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Cheers, my love.
Cheers.
Eric, don't think too deep. Just give me a topic.
He'll hurt himself.
Oh, also for Pride, the reason I think Black Lives Matters is so important now is not just because last year was the 50th anniversary. Hi, Martin. Is the fact that Marsha P. Johnson threw a brick at the cops. So, and yes. Marsha P. Johnson was a Black trans woman who literally had enough. So, and it's not a pride parade. It's still a pride march, which means every year the queer community can come together and march and say, we're still here and we're still fighting and we're all still fighting. But right now, Black trans lives matter, Black lives matter. And I'm educating myself every day as much as I can. And I think that's important that you do the same. You can still be trashy, but you can still be educated. Just look at me with my degree from Ball State. Also, I say it every week, but I want to say it again. The duplex loves you. And I can't wait to be able to hug my Black friends and the Black queer community that come to duplex. I'm going to hug every single one of them. Like, give me a hug. Because we have to. Oh, I've heard it's amazing. I've heard it's so fantastic. Thank you, Jerry. I think it's our duty as people who are not Black to do our due diligence, and I wouldn't say man up, I would say just be human up. Oh, my worst hookup story? Okay, well, here we go. All right. Again, Frank loves when I talk about these stories. I had just moved in with Susie, my former roommate. It was on the Upper West Side. People say Morning Heights or whatever. I'm like, fuck you. It was below 125th. It's the Upper West Side. Anyway, I had ordered sushi and had been on Grindr. And this former magical place it was literally like the tits of apartments. It had a washer dryer, a dishwasher, and a full rooftop deck that was private. Like we had our own door to our own little deck. Now we shared that deck with the neighbors next door. This comes into play. So I get on Grindr, and this gentleman comes all the way from Jersey City. He's very smug. He's Brazilian, very beautiful, but just not. He was smug. I thought he was charming at first, but I was like, oh no, this guy is just full of himself. He's like, and he talked about all the porn stars he'd slept with, and I'm like, Rocco Steele, am I right? Hello. It wasn't Rocco Steele, but he had hooked up with everybody. Well, you know what? I fucked Anderson Cooper, so yeah, who's the winner here? But who hasn't? So who's the loser? So the whole thing about the rooftop is there are two locks, and he went up first and only unlatched the bottom one, and it opened, and I was like, oh, maybe I didn't deadbolt it the last time. So we're up there showing him the roof. By the way, he's in his underwear, and I'm in an oversized, I think I threw it away like 2 years ago, an oversized blue tank top and a pair of booty shorts. Not the jeans I wear, the jean booty, the Daisy Dukes I wear at the bar. I'm talking like booty shorts, like with the pouch thing in the front for the bulge, to be like, oh, hey, I'm at the beach. I'm at the gym. Check me out. I go to the roof. The door shuts. He sees the view. He's like, oh, this is nice. And then decides to go back to the front or go back to the door. And he opens the door, or so he thought, and that's not even his penis, which wasn't that big. So yeah, screw you, whoever you are. Anyway, literally trying to get the door open, and I'm like, fuck you, Victor. Anyway, it was Victor. He was there. No, and so the door is locked. This guy is like, don't worry about it. It's fine. He lights up a blunt. He also smoked 420 in my apartment. And I'm like, huh? And I actually apologized to my roommate in case it smelled like weed. And I was like, hey, let's go to the roof. And that's how this happened. So he goes to the roof. He's smoking a blunt. He's blitzed out of his mind. He's not drunk. He's just higher than a goddamn kite. Higher than Demi Lovato. I'm kidding. Fabletics. And so I'm trying to get back in. I'm nervous. Thankfully, and I have sushi coming. Like, I ordered sushi for him and I. It was like $58 worth of sushi coming on its way. And it's also summer, which means fish cannot be left warm. And so I decided to crawl over. The apartment next to us had not been rented. I crawl over the fence, scraping my inner thighs because it was a picket fence, like using the random stools that I had. I hear two girls checking out the apartment with the realtor next door. I come in the door and I go, hi, I'm so sorry. I'm not crazy. I know this is going to be like either a really good New York story or you're going to call the cops. I said, that's totally fine. But may I please use your phone? May I run downstairs with one of you so I can check the number of our landlord, call him to have him come let me back in. So this one girl was very reluctant. She's like, this better be a damn good story. And I was like, okay, it is. So we run downstairs. Our super's number was printed on the wall when you come in. I call our former, I loved him so much. His name is Ariane. He was so nice. He did everything. I called Ariane and I said, can you please let me back into my apartment? He's like, sorry, dude, I'm not allowed to. And I'm like, but in every sitcom, you're allowed to let people back in. He's like, nope, I don't have keys. So during this time, the sushi comes. I have to sign for it because it was eons ago, back when people did things like that. I was just like, thank you so much. Okay, here's the 20%. Thank you. Also, if you're not tipping 20% after this quarantine is over, you are trash. I run back. I give the girl back her phone. I said, thank you so much. I run back upstairs through the other apartment that has not been rented yet. While they're checking it out, climb back over, start eating sushi on the roof. This guy says, after he eats the sushi, says, you know what? I don't think this is going to happen. And I'm like, okay. By the way, it sort of didn't happen before we went upstairs. Anyway, meh. His ass was a big meh. Beautiful, but just not good at sex. And because I'm trash. So finally, Ariane comes upstairs with me, goes out on the roof and has the code to like make it stop buzzing, climbs over, goes down the fire escape, and thank God Susie's bedroom window was unlatched. Opens it and meets me at the front door. He's like, don't ever let this happen again. And that's the story of how, so I barely had sex. A guy was super high. I got locked on the roof. I had to meet a random stranger and borrow her phone, nearly naked. She did believe me, though, as they were leaving, the Brazilian was just putting his shirt on. She just goes, oh. So at least it was a fun story. Had a superintendent climb down a fire escape, go into through my roommate's room, and then let me back into my own apartment. All the time I'm wearing booty shorts and like one of those, like what I thought was like a muscle tank. I'm not muscly, like a muscle tank top that like shows your boobies and, you know, barely fits you. And that was the worst hookup I've ever had. One of the funniest, but one of the worst. And I think, except for the time that my grandma passed away, not to make anyone sad, like that post I think got like 600 likes on Facebook. This one got like 738. I was just like, because I'm trash. And if you didn't know, you were listening to Trash Talk. I should make this a podcast, but no one's listening except for you three lovely people. I'm going to do a shot after this. I mean, trust me, Eric, they're foreign trash. Eric, there are actually some other fun, worse stories, but I can't tell them because in case my mother ever watches this, she will be. I'll tell you my trashiest pride story. Maybe there should be one for every week. Fireball. My trashiest pride story was oh, by the way, I just celebrated my, I didn't post about it because I didn't feel like it was necessary, but I just celebrated my 13th duplex anniversary on June 1st.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
13 years.
Holy crap.
I think Maria and I are the people that have, besides Tony, have worked there the longest. I was like, damn.
And Jared.
Thomas and Lisa in our cabaret room, but I'm talking like downstairs.
Yes. Yep.
And I'm not talking piano players. I'm just talking bartenders. I was like,
Yes.
Damn. Like, that's a child at this point. Like, that kid is going to be, like, driving soon. I was like, oh, damn.
13 years. Wow.
Cheers to trash.
Cheers.
I love that every time that I do Fireball, I think it's going to get better. Like, Dan Savage is wrong. It doesn't get better. It's still burnt. No, I mean, it doesn't
Wrong
get better,
message.
but I mean, applying to Fireball, Dan Savage.
Fireball does not get better. Yes.
I was like, oh, no, every time that I do it, I'm like, oh.
There you go.
I'm like, oh, it's been so long.
Oh, yep. You've reached your duplex puberty, Adam.
It's duplex puberty. Oh my God.
Yep.
So I'm going to break out in glitter. Hooray.
And then a few more years after that, you'll be legal.
To come in. All right, Eric, that was a trashy hookup story. I'm going to tell you my trashiest duplex story, and I'll try just for this month, and I'll try to see how, not the trashiest, but I'll tell you a trashy duplex story. I once, oh dear Lord, we have a cabaret room, and there is a green room in which the artists get ready in. And a former employee and I, who I shall not say, decided to hook up with another employee's brother who was in from Pennsylvania. And they were just 21, like 2 weeks into being 21. And this kid is just going to town. like literally, I'm just shot. Like, and we're like, okay, we're like, this is the time, and we're like, is he gay? Is he not gay? And then he mumbled, he's like, yeah, I'm gay. I just haven't told my family yet. But we found out from the former coworker and their boyfriend that, so coworker 1 and I are over here. Coworker 2 and her boyfriend are over here. So they, being the couple, said, oh, we think that the brother is gay, so we decided to bring him to Duplex and Stonewall. And apparently they had been to Stonewall first, and that's when he started like, I'll have a Long Island. Of course you are, 21, because you're trash. And then they came over to the Duplex, and we were upstairs, and I was off work. I worked until 9, and it was like, yay, Sunday fun day. We're just flirting, and between me and the coworker that I'm making out with, we both make out with the random brother. So the random brother that was like, oh, I'm gay. Hooray. We decided to go to Stonewall because he wants to play pool. But instead of playing pool, we go upstairs at Stonewall and we buy, he's a ginger. Let's just call him the ginger. We buy the ginger like a shot of something crappy. And then also Stonewall has a green room. And we decided to go back into the green room and have some fun of ourselves because it was late. Nobody was there. The drag shows were over. And sorry, Mom, you're going to hear it. Anyway, so the ginger had never performed oral sex before and really, really wanted to try it. So this coworker and I were like, okay, great. Zip. Oh my God, this show is so great. Happy Pride. And he's going back and forth between me and the coworker. And out of nowhere, straighty ginger boy, who is not outed yet, just picks up a random Stonewall glass off the floor and just goes. It's a gross story. You wanted a really bad one. Literally, I don't know how his stomach knew, but it filled it exactly to the brim. And then he puts it down. And he tries to go back to going down on both of us. And we both like, no. We're like, no, it's okay. Like, well, we pick him up and we realize like, okay, he's clearly had too much. He's like, no, I feel so much better. Let me go down on you both. We're both like, no. And at this point, the staff is aware of what's going on because they hear the ruckus happening over the music. I can't believe I haven't shared this story before. So he's still back there. He ends up falling asleep in the back room. And we end up picking him up. And we're like, hey, let's go back to Duplex. Let's get you with your brother and sister-in-law. The other couple. And like, let's make sure that you get home safely because they didn't live far away. They lived in Chelsea. So we can put you in a cab. And the ginger insisted on staying at Duplex and at Stonewall upstairs and was just doing like the rave dance, but there was like very light music, like it was like Enya type music or Enya, like elevator music playing and just like hey. And we eventually convince him to go back to Duplex. We take him upstairs and we're like, hey, he needs to go home. He's like, why? I'm like, he's dancing to nothing. And they're like, oh, okay, great. So they all put him in a cab. They all went home together. And then I'm in a cab on my, like I don't help them close, but I'm there after hours upstairs at Duplex and people are wiping things down. I'm like, hey, like, it's like, oh, so this X, Y, and Z happened. And sometimes our dear friends will like knock on the door downstairs and be like, hey, can we come in? Because we're from Stonewall. We're like, sure. They come upstairs and like, just like to say, hey, have a good night kind of thing. And this is back in the day because this doesn't happen anymore. And out of nowhere, I hear one of the Stonewall employees say, hey, did Stritty throw up in a cup? Because we found it. So that's my random gross Sunday Pride story, is that a straight guy who is clearly gay pretty much almost puked on my dick. gross. I'm sorry, Mom, if you ever watch this. She doesn't know how to use a phone. I manscaped today. It is shot o'clock. Yes. Well, see, now I have like 15 more. I'm like, oh God, I should tell them now. I'm like, nope, save it for next week. I'm also trash because like, are you completely out of booze, Jerry? Like, is it done for the day?
No, oh no. We've got a giant bottle.
Oh,
No, we have a giant bottle of whiskey and
oh dear
picklebacks.
Lord, bless you.
So, did you already do your shot?
Cheers.
Cheers.
See, I feel better about myself when I chase with club soda. I'm like, oh, I feel better about myself. My body's like, hey, thank you.
Incredible
Jerry,
story.
So glad I tuned in. That was oh dear God.
I was watching. I've been watching your viewers. Their numbers are going up and up and up during that story. It was good.
I will tell you one more trashy story because I can. Just for pride. So it's a short one. Wait, let me think. Is that a shot of blue curacao? No, I drink. No, it's Pinnacle whipped. It's disgusting. It tastes like whipped cream, but with vodka. But I'll tell you what, it makes I like with Diet Dr. Pepper because I like sweet things, and it's like diabetes in a glass. But I will tell you, it's really good with if you make like a Coke float with it, just like put Coke, like Coca-Cola, a little bit of that, and ice cream, and a little bit more on top to help melt the ice cream. It's so good. It's like a little, but also it does go everywhere. Like if you pour this and spill it, you will have hands. Oh, shit. So I think one of my other favorite trashy stories has got to be I think my first pride was when I was 22. I had just come back from London. I did a semester abroad. I was gone for like 6 months-ish, 4 months-ish. Anyway, I come back, and that summer, it was the summer after 9/11, so 2002. And I had wanted to, I had come out when I was in London. I literally got off the plane. I'm like, no one knows me here. I'm gay. I also bought a motorcycle jacket in London. I don't know why. I really wanted a motorcycle jacket and wore it everywhere, looking like the biggest douchebag with the early 2000s, 3 necklaces, one being a puka shell, a ring on every finger. Abercrombie loved me because I paid so much money for that shit that I ended up throwing away. So I was here. Adam had a pot belly because Adam didn't know what the gym was. And being a very insecure gay, I also had braces. That was fun. 22 in braces. After I should have had them, 10 years prior. I have a pair of Oakleys on. So Oakleys, braces, pot belly. But this is when baby doll tees and muscle shirts were very popular. So the tiny slim cut. I found a muscle tee at a place in London that had a monster truck on it, but it was a monster truck that was like a cartoon, and it said monster, and it was all glitter like a decal. It was from the 80s, clearly meant for a woman. But I wore it, and my belly was hanging out of it, but I thought I was hot shit. So I come to Pride. I think this is the first time I actually went to the duplex. I was trying to find the F train. I couldn't find it. I ended up near Duplex and Stonewall. I had to get back to the L train to go back to, not the F train, the L train to go back to Brooklyn in Williamsburg, where I was staying with a friend. And for the night, because I was actually living in Red Hook for the entire summer, I was working 2 jobs. I was working at Cozy, the restaurant, at night, and during the day I was working at Kenneth Cole, thinking it was I'm in fashion. I'm a waiter in New York City. I also made like 10 grand that summer. I'm just gonna let you all know, and that's a lot of fucking money. So there I am at Pride. I think I went to Marie's Crisis first with my friend Croft, and then we ended up going to I think Duplex for like a quick drink, and I was like, this place is weird. Like I don't get it. We were upstairs, and then Stonewall and down the block, we ended up in someplace in Chelsea. Couldn't tell you. It might have been G Bar at the time. I don't know. No, it was Therapy. We were at Therapy. I was like, this place is so cool. Oh my God, like we're here. Look at all these men. I'm like, I'm single. I'm gonna make it. Yeah. With braces. I look like the proverbial teenage dork in New York City, but 22. And that's not anti-dork. I'm just saying. Because I am a dork and I'm a nerd. I own that. And I don't know what happened, but at one point Croft said, you need to go home. And I said, okay. And then I continued dancing back when they had dancing therapy upstairs. And the next morning I woke up in a pile of like 5 men and just everyone was still asleep and just grabbed my things. And I was like, it was literally my worst and best walk of shame ever. Like I might as well have been wearing like a Superman costume, but not on Halloween. Like it was that kind of like whatever I had on. I was like my little belly hanging out, just being like, I gotta put this down. Also, I'm pro belly, but I was just like, ooh. I was like, ooh, I gotta clean my braces out before I go to the train because I gotta clean them out because braces. And I had a list when I had braces. It was so exciting. And I just remember I was like, there were 5 men in one bed. Like we were all like lined up like hot dogs. And weren't we? And I'm not really sure what happened, but there were condoms everywhere, so everyone was safe. That was good. But I was just like, oh, Jesus, crying out loud. And all I remember was the girl eating, not Honey Nut Cheerios, but something similar. Just eating her breakfast cereal. It was like 7:30 in the morning, just being like, seeing me leave, I just go, have a good day. As I put my final shoe on, like left, and I go, there's a lot of people there. She goes, oh, I know. So apparently this girl was used to her roommate having like multiple gay orgies in her roommate's room. So what I'm trying to say, people, is that I have been a whore. And that, what are you going to do? But I will tell you, I've only hooked up with a coworker twice. Wait. 5 times. All from Duplex. Anyway. And 2 out of the 3 don't work there anymore. So there you go. Oh, fantastic. Dear God. And sometimes you have a hookup and you realize the next morning, you're like, oh. You're like my sister. Okay. No, Mark, I used to go to GAY, and I used to go to Heaven. Heaven was where I thought I did cocaine. It was not. It was meth. Hey, world. And I ended up with pneumonia. And I had to fly back with pneumonia from London to the U.S. and had to miss 2 more days of college. They were just like, really? Like, the nurse, actually, it was a nurse practitioner. She came to me. She goes, so we tested your blood. And, yeah, what did you do in London? I go, I don't know. It was a Saturday night. I flew out on Sunday. Saturday night, I sniffed something that I thought was a little fun nose candy. It was not. It was something else. I ended up in the hospital back in Indiana for 3 days. And I still had homework. I say shenanigans. I was with my friend Rob Coles in the entire week. I had like $50 to my name, but somehow a check cleared through. What do they call that? Like when you like Western Union. I was like, Mom and Dad, I'm stuck in London. They're like, how did you end up in London on spring break? I'm like, I paid for it, and then the check bounced because I'm trash. But Heaven was all kinds of crazy.
I had a similar story.
Mark, I used to live on Edgware Road and Marble Arch, and I worked illegally at a place called Vivi Rouleau, which was a ribbon store on Marylebone High Street. But heaven was crazy. Like, it literally was like, And that's why I don't do drugs, kids. Because, another fun story, because why not? So when I took the bag of what I thought was cocaine into the bathroom to do it, there was like a dime bag. We all know what a dime bag is if you don't educate yourself, but not personally. It was half full. It was half full. And like
the optimist.
big. It was like right there. And I just went, I was like, and then I didn't know what to do with the bag. So I threw it in the trash. And the guy who gave it to me says, "Where's the bag?" And I was like, I'm talking like full on gay mafia. Like, he was so upset that I threw it away. I said, "I'm so sorry. I didn't realize it was that big of a deal." I was like, huh? What, who? Huh? I ended up having to go back into the bathroom, found the bag in the trash, washed my hands 14 times. Also, wash your hands, people. It's still COVID. And he literally smacked me on the face, like Karen Walker style, like, like bitch slapped me, because I didn't know this. I'd never done drugs before. And he was just like, and he did the whole like, "Don't ever fuck with my family again." Not really. He was super gay. And he looked like he owned 14 twinks in cages. He was just like, "Don't you ever do that to my drugs again." I was like, "Jeannie, you know, it set me free." That's what I was thinking during the entire thing. He's like, "Why are you laughing?" I'm like, "Well, I'm high and I'm half drunk and I'm dancing in a club." And I was like, "Yay!" I literally got in a cab at that moment because I was so scared that he and his thugs were gonna come after me. I was just like, oh my God. All right, kids. What else should we talk about? Should we talk about the time that I stood up for Eric Corona? I miss gay clubs too. You know which one I miss the most? I miss Splash.
Splash is, I was gonna say, that's where I had my pile of gay story. But it was with two brothers who were here from Spain, and like three other guys from. It's not, yeah. Anyway, but twins.
Girl.
Yeah. Anyway, I didn't say that online though.
Oh, of course you did. Didn't.
Did.
I miss Splash because on Sunday nights, after I would get done, I would clock out after my paperwork, and Randy Jones from the Village People used to be the DJ and would have a 70s night. And there would be like maybe honestly 50 people in the entire establishment. As on a Friday night, there would be 2,000 people in the establishment. But I loved that place. Like, I would just go and like dance to disco.
Yep.
Like, isn't Rush the name of like one of the poppers?
Rush, what it is? Yes, Rush was the club that was like 18 and up.
Oh, got it.
It was like not, yeah, same time as Splash, but we'd go to Splash because we were old enough, and Victor would go to Rush.
Did you ever go to the Roxy?
Love you, babe. I did not go to Roxy. No.
I went to Roxy one time and got in on accident. It was there was the line. I went with a guy, and we didn't know the line was going around the block, but they were letting like a group of like, we'd have like 2 Cosmos or whatever. So we were like feeling a little daring, but they were letting a group of like 10 people at a time go in. And the Roxy was on like almost the West Side Highway. And this is when I had braces and, wore my muscle shirt. Good times. I'm back to that. Yay. And the line, they were letting like 10 people in. And I go, get in line. He's like, what? So the guard turns his head this way. And we literally just go in with this group. And they're like, it's a $25 cover. I'm like, this is 2002, a $25 cover. And it was worth every penny. The guy that I went in with ended up leaving because he had to go back to Long Island. And I ended up staying until 7:30 in the morning, I think. And apparently I ended up dancing with the shirtless. He told me he was the president of CVS. And I'm like, sure, Jan. But either way, I made it back home to Red Hook safely. But I was just like, and I think I had one drink there. I think I had a shot of tequila, and that was it. But you're just dancing with like 4,000 sweaty men, and it was so fun. I mean, that doesn't exist anymore.
Mm-mm.
And that was
It doesn't.
third. Like, Frank and I went to Philadelphia in February?
Yeah, just before this all happened.
We went to Philadelphia in February, and they were asking for like a $20 cover for a random bar. That was fun. It was all inclusive. It didn't matter if you were gay, straight, queer, whatever you identify as. Like, they didn't give a shit. They were just like, yeah, come on in, give me your money. And I think we were there for maybe 10 minutes, and we're like, we gotta go, because everybody was so drugged out. They were so high. They were so drunk, and we're just like, this isn't the kind of dance party that I want to go to. But if you do want to have a dance party with me on Wednesday, I'm saying this now, I will remember. On Wednesday, I will be hosting a dance party at 7 p.m. Jerry, hold me to this. Just everybody getting on a Zoom call or this call and just dancing, like putting on Chromatica because of the gays, or putting on your favorite album, or for me, it'll probably be a chorus line, and just dancing your butt off for like 15 minutes, just to get some little extra cardio in your day, because I have braces and a pot belly.
7 p.m. on Wednesday. Dance party.
Did you say you were Long Island trash?
Dina did say that, yes.
And I was like,
oh, Dina has a better idea.
Dance party? Dina,
of course. Leave it to Dina. Leave it to Dina. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that.
But horizontally. All right, kiddos. Someone give me one more trashy story to talk about. Ask me about my trashy experience. I know Susie knows which one. I know exactly which Susie one.
Susie, let us know. What is it? What's the trash?
I think I talked about it last week.
Oh, I have a clip from our dance party next week to share real quick. Hang on. Here we go. Here we go. There it is. Yep.
I was asked in New York City, do you like my clothes? I'm talking to my tape recorder, walking down the road. But on Friday night, I'm purified. Now my feet don't touch the floor. When the rubber meets the road, in between my toes.
So if you don't know, those of you playing at home,
it's a paradise.
Those of you playing at home, that's pretty much what Pride looks like at the duplex at around 2:30 in the morning.
Yep.
And that's really, it's so weird. Like, we're so busy all day, but around 2:30, people are like, I have to go home. I have to go home. They go home, and they come back at 3:48 when we close at 4, and we can only legally serve until 4 in the morning. And they're like, no, like, I took a nap. Like, but like, the light is the bartender, but they're looking over here like, no, I took a nap.
I never thought I'd miss it. that time.
I never thought I'd miss it either. I'm like, every year I'm like, ugh, it's such hell to get in there. I will tell a funny true story that's not trashy, not for me, but for our dear friend Dino. So because it was last year was the 50th anniversary of Pride, we all were given letters by our employer, and I decided to take my I had like 3 or 4 duplex uniforms, which for me are tank tops, and put them in my backpack. And I had one on, and I had 2 extra in my bag, and I was just like, hey, and I had my letter ready to go because you had to get through police barricades to even cross the street. And it's a nightmare if you live uptown. Like if you live in the area, it's even worse, but at least you're close and you can like take your time to get there. But this year our boss was saying like, hey, you might want to take like at least an hour plus to get to work. And we're like, okay. Yeah, so naked dance party Wednesday at 7. And by that I mean be fully clothed, please. So we're going there, and I said, hey, Dino, do you want to meet up with me? So, because he lives in Astoria, and fun story, Dino is my neighbor across the hall. So as soon as quarantine is over, Chandler and Joey shenanigans are going to happen with Monica and Rachel. And we are, Frank and I are Joey and Chandler, clearly, and they are Monica and Rachel. Which one is Rachel? I don't know yet. Someday I'm just going to shove a big ceramic dog through their door and be like, hey, we made it. So he met me in Midtown around, I think, 34th Street. Or no, 14th Street. And we decided to walk down. And he's like, oh, shit, I forgot my letter. And I was like, oh, crap. So I said, oh, I have a duplex shirt. Like, and we can see the duplex from where we're trying to cross. We're like, hey, we work at duplex. I said, oh, just put this on. And I did know that. Thank you, Eric. I said, hey, put this on. And he put it on. And Dino was like my size. He's like maybe a little bit shorter than me, like by half an inch or so. And he's a fit guy. And he put it on. He just goes, Jesus Christ, how do you put this thing on? And he was so struggling. It's like he couldn't breathe in my tank top. And I was like, I'm not that skinny and you're not that big, but for some odd reason, this random model of mesh tank top that I have, he was just like, and the cop was like, yeah, come on. I was like, hey, I have a letter. I was like, oh, he's with me. And he just goes, he's like, yeah, okay. He's like, thank you. And like, we get barely half across the street. He's just like, Jesus, I can't breathe. It was just so funny.
He's just straight. He's not used to tight clothes.
And he's not used to gay clothing.
No.
And Dino and Grace are a lovely straight couple and ally as fuck. But I just love that he literally was like, how do you get into this? And I was like, Crisco and some fishing line. I don't think I have the strength. All right, Jerry, give me one more topic before we wrap this show up.
One more topic.
Yeah, one more fun pride. Oh, I got one.
Yeah, go.
2 years ago, I met Saoirse Ronan. Saoirse Ronan has been nominated twice, I believe, for an Oscar for Atonement and Brooklyn. So she was doing The Crucible on Broadway. I was working with our dear friend Kayla King, and Kayla goes, that girl looks so familiar. And this girl kept putting her card down. And I was like, huh. I looked at her and just go, Atonement? She goes, yes. She's Irish. She's like, yes, but please don't tell anyone. That's a really bad Irish/Scottish accent. Please don't tell anyone. There you are. And she was so nice. So I got to meet a famous celebrity who's been nominated now twice for an Oscar at Pride. And she stayed until like the wee hours of the morning. But she was the one, as an Irish person, not anti-Irish, but, you know, things are fun. I'm half Irish. Is that she kept her shit together. She's like, I'm keeping my friends in line. I was like, do you want a shot? She's like, yes! Speaking of, let's do one final shot before we end this show. And you are on Trash Talk. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, even on Venmo, I will virtually reach out to you for reach arounds for Fireball. And the number one thing we'll leave you with is, we'll do a shot first. Oh, Lord. All right, gee. Woo! All right. Cheers, everyone. Don't forget, you can be classy, but you can still be what? Trashy.
Cheers.
And don't forget, I let it blow it away like it was a burp. Don't forget, Black Lives Matter. So anything you Venmo me tonight will go directly to a foundation that is supporting Black lives and Black trans lives. So I love you. Thank you for watching. Have fun. Join us every Sunday at 7 p.m. for Trash Talk with Adam Chandler. And also, this is still very, very important. So please, if you can do anything, just you can Venmo me, you can Apple Pay, Quick Pay me, whatever. But it will all go towards foundations that support Black Lives Matter, supporting their Black brothers and sisters, because we have to. We literally have to. It's our problem, and we have to fix it. And the duplex loves you. The end.